sod can't eat proper.
Dunno, not sure I like that. What if he runs for it? He's worth a heap of coin.
Ah, bollocks. Been holding him a week, hasn't tried a thing. Why'd he up and bolt now? Matter of fact, got to thinking. What did a sweet, gentle chap like him do to get the Queen of Zerrikania so riled?
She's a shrew, that's what. Queen and witch in one. Worst of both worlds.
Enough about her. What do you say to one more of your tales? While we toss down some cards.
Ah, why not? And since you mentioned one queen...
Bigger they are, easier they are to target. Thing about slings, they hide well.
Never had your kneecaps broken!
Hey?
Quick and painful this'll be.
Elven blarney. Scoia'tael! Attack!
So much anger and suffering. For what?
Ever have a stone knock out one of your teeth?
God is free!
Getting to work.
Discipline shall bring us victory!
You mad? Don't shake that!
Company! Forward march!
It's not too late to walk away.
Elven blarney.
Thing about slings, they hide well. Hey?
Death is only the beginning!
What do you want of me?
Scoia'tael! Attack!
Ever have a stone knock out one of your teeth? Have it the white of an eye from half a league away.
Never had your kneecaps broken!
Catch! I smell a leak.
It's not too late to walk away.
My scars? No, they don't hurt.
Her Majesty knows what she's doing.
My pain serves a purpose.
While accustomed to life mid swamp monsters and black magic, Angren's denizens never dared enter Ysgith. The Lyrians only once saw signs of a human presence there when they spotted a group of thatched roof huts amongst alders.
That settlement, is it inhabited?
Meve asked, turning to her scouts.
Impossible to say from this distance, Your Grace.
The Lyrians entered the village, swords in hand, prepared to fight. But not a soul nor a beast came forth. Some homes had collapsed from rot, while tall grass concealed the paths between them. Yet, someone had been there not long past, for fresh ghoul cadavers lay by the well. Meve knelt beside the corpse of one cut clear in half. The beast's killer had been exceptionally strong, and wielded a razor-sharp sword.
More are likely to come around.
Meve leapt to her feet. A man in thick leather armor had emerged from one of the huts. Transfixed by his cat eyes, the Queen nonetheless sensed he was rather badly hurt.
Were that true, my scouts would have blown their horns.
The man pulled out a pendant shaped like a bear's head. It hummed and twitched as if striving to free itself of its chain.
Far as monsters go,
he said, lips curling into an unpleasant smile.
Witchers aren't usually wrong.
A moment later, a scream pierced the air. Quickly, instinctively, Meve drew her sword and lunged forth.
Approach! Seems you were right.
This could hurt. Watch your heads!
It's not too late to walk away.
Feel any burning? See a local healer or wise woman.
Never had your kneecaps broken.
I feel a strong magic here, my lady. Something controls these creatures.
Thing about slings, they hide well.
Nothing personal, I assure you.
Elven blarney.
Hey? Ever have a storm knock out one of your teeth?
We must trust each other.
Getting to work.
That'll be the last of them. Should be quiet for a bit.
The Lyrians emerged victorious, due in no small part to the Witcher.
Thanks for the help. Name's Ivo, Witcher, School of the Bear.
Meve, Queen of Lyria and Rivia.
Well, well. Didn't expect to see anyone out here. And certainly not a queen with an army in tow.
We're not here by choice.
I bet not. No one plans to pass through Ysgith.
And you? What's brought you here? A contract, perchance?
That's right. Hunting a monster.
I know your services to be rather dear. Who could afford a witcher's bounty in these wretched swamps?
Nilfgaardians.
Blast, of course. Preparing the land for settlement. Cull the monsters, drain the swamp, then bring in slaves. Doubtless from the north.
Maybe. I got paid in advance. I didn't see the need to ask any questions.
But did you have to take the coin? Don't you see what they're doing?
Forgive me, your majesty, but seems to me you're confusing witchers with knights errant. We don't fight oppression, right wrongs, or avenge orphans. We slay monsters for coin. And it don't matter whose head's on the front or whose coffers it's from.
This beast you're out to slay, what is it?
Hang on. You mean to tell me you've led your force into Ysgith and don't even know what lives here?
I believe I was clear. We're not here by choice.
Yeah, but now that you are here, it'll take a minor miracle to get you out. Ysgith swamps, realm of a truly dangerous being. Elves call it Gernichora, the Bloody Mistress. Over generations, locals twisted the name until it became Gernichora.
Indeed. I've heard it.
So you've also probably seen her beloved fruit. Leeches and ticks. You'd all be wise to stay away from them.
This Gernichora, what is she exactly?
Depends who you ask. Elves saw a fallen goddess in her. Never managed to cut her down while they lived here, but they did stem her growth, kept her from growing stronger. As for the local humans, spirit of a cursed princess, that's their take. Deep belief, actually.
Care to elaborate?
Stories that she was riding north to marry a Temerian duke. Whole retinue and caravan got lost, wagons got stuck, everybody drowned in the bog. Quicksand got him, that sort of thing. Gernichora grabbed a root before the quagmire swallowed her whole. Hollered for hours. But there wasn't a soul around to hear her. Leeches, hundreds covered her, settled in for a royal feast. Sucked her dry, drained her to pretty much the last drop. Fear and revulsion so completely overcame her spirit, she couldn't pass into the afterlife. So she came back, revived by Ysgith's magic.
Ugh. A chilling tale.
Yeah, Sepp made up, probably. Don't believe the elven legends either. Gernichora's a monster, plain and simple. Extremely dangerous, sure, but just a monster.
The leeches and ticks, you called them her fruit.
It's kinda complicated.
We've time enough.
Gernichora's a little like a vampire. They're kindred creatures. Except, instead of feasting on the blood of others, she feeds them her own.
I'm not certain I understand.
They're parasites, right? She puts them on her body, feeds them her own blood, then hangs them on shrubs and trees.
Ugh. To what end?
To other monsters, they're delicacies. Sweet, juicy, full of Gernichora's blood. Irresistible. Any beast that tastes that loses its mind, turns into Gernichora's slave. So, if your paths cross and push comes to shove, she's not gonna be alone. Find yourself fighting the whole damn swamp.
How are we to fight her? How might she be killed?
Sorry, sharing secrets. Just not something we do.
Not even with those who saved your life just moments past?
We gotta wait till she starts feeding the parasites. She's weakest then. Stand a chance to hurt her.
Right. So we attack only once she puts the leeches to her skin.
Yeah. And when you kill her, if you kill her, any beasts under her spell will weaken considerably. And then, you gotta burn her corpse. I mean it, understand? Burn it.
And you? Will you not hunt her any longer?
No, I will. Just need to prepare. Realized that today. Gotta brew some potions, blade oils. Come back in a few days.
I don't even have that much time. Nilfgaard's hordes pursue us. I must march on.
In that case, wish you luck. Lots of it.
I suppose there's no argument that would persuade you to ride with us.
Your Grace, mutations strip us of emotion, not reason.
The Witcher vanished midst the trees. And Meve simply hoped her soldiers had not overheard any part of their... Caldwell had summoned Nilfgaardian support. Meve assumed they were not far behind. Yet in the unforgiving terrain, a full Nilfgaardian division could not hope to close the gap. Small detachments, however, light cavalry or footmen, could very well do just that. So when black-clad men emerged from the mist, the Queen was not surprised. She ordered her troops to fall in, form up, and brace to defend the line. Yet the attack never came. The invaders stood silent, motionless. And Meve got a closer look. They were slouched, ashen-faced, unsure of step and covered in sores. Ysgith had treated them as cruelly as any. Teetering in his saddle, the commander broke formation.
Half my men are wounded, the others sick. Your force does not fare much better.
True. Yet we outnumber you soundly.
Indeed. If it comes to combat, you are certain to win. But in this damn swamp, all wounds fester. Flesh is quick to rot. You will lose many more apart from those who fall.
What do you mean, precisely?
Asked the Queen, her eyes narrowing, her head tilted to the side.
We should part ways in peace. There's a war on, there'll be another chance to fight. Perhaps even face one another. But not...
Suddenly unsure, the Queen weighed the officer's words. Their logic was sound, though they could also prove a ruse.
Your Grace,
Xavier's voice came from behind Meve's back.
we can't let them pass. They've done only harm, and they'll not stop and go home.
Alas, I see things differently.
Meve said with a sly smile.
Crush you now, and I'll have fewer to fight down the line.
You seem sure of yourself, milady.
Let me show you why. At them!
Meve...
We will not surrender without a fight! Go, hop, hop!
Catch! I smell a leak.
Is that really necessary?
Order will triumph! It must triumph!
Hey?
Wise choice.
Never had your kneecaps broken! Praise be to the great sun!
My pain serves a purpose.
Order! Your life is mine now.
much anger and suffering. For what?
Wise choice.
Company! Forward march!
They spoke the truth. You show no mercy. No mercy.
Amidst the fog and dense, gnarled forest, the battle ran its course. When the last sounds of fighting had died down, Meve was not sure who'd prevailed. Then soldiers came forth, fatigued and hurt, with smiles on their lips. She saw they were hers, and only then knew victory was hers as well. But this was no time to celebrate. She let everyone rest, then gave the order to resume the march.
I smell a leak.
You mad? Don't shake that!
Feel any burning? See a local healer or wise woman.
Never had your kneecaps broken. Elven blarney.
Tell me you jest.
This could hurt.
Make love, not
What
war.
do you want of me?
Ever have a stone knock out one of your teeth?
Wait, you're serious?
Come here! Let's dance!
Watch your heads!
I bit the white of an eye from half a league away. Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
Her Majesty knows what she's doing.
Thing about slings, they hide well.
Getting to work.
The Lyrian force had reached the very heart of Ysgith. From every branch, vine, and shrub hung leeches and ticks by the dozen. Swollen with blood, their abdomens glistened, glowing red in the misty air so putrid it set Maeve's head to spinning. She paused at a moss-covered boulder, pressed her flushed forehead against its cool surface. Her soldiers passed by, pallid, filthy, drained. She wished to say something, lift their spirits, but instead a cough rattled her breast. Suddenly, splashes all around Maeve in the water, as if a rain of fist-sized drops had begun to fall. The Queen lifted her heavy gaze. Seemingly on command, ticks and leeches dropped into the warm, soupy waters, then clumsily wriggled off toward a dead alder grove. Maeve knew at once what skulked behind the trees. Gernichora, Ysgith's mistress. Ysgith's queen.
Weapons at the ready!
The Queen roared.
Close ranks!
The Lyrians quickly converged, formed a wall of shields, and crouched behind them. Terrified, they stared as a multitude of eyes flashed open midst the branches while revolting, muck-covered beasts rose from the gurgling waters around. Maeve silently uttered a prayer. Hail, Melitele, great mother, maiden and crone, ever have us in your care.
Everyone, rally to me!
You mad? Don't shake that!
Majesty! These parasites! They feed on her blood!
That bit's the white of an eye from half a league away.
What? Oh, yes, I'm on it.
Getting to work.
Oh, sorry, turnips back for an encore.
This could hurt.
How quickly the scales tip.
Make love, not war.
Everyone, rally to me!
Nothing personal, I assure you.
Majesty! These parasites, they feed on her blood!
Thing about slings, they hide well.
May disgrace ends here! Time I wiped it away!
How quickly the scales tip.
Ha! Ludifisk! Give me some of that!
I smell a leak.
Fear not! We shall achieve our goal! Scoia'tael! Attack!
These ghastly beasts can be slain. They can be overcome.
Everyone, rally to me!
Water is a poison.
Majesty! These parasites, they feed on her blood!
Ever have a storm knock out one of your teeth?
I smell a leak.
It's not too late to walk away.
How quickly the scales tip.
Oh, sorry, turnips back for an encore. Go, hop, hop.
Have it the white of an eye from half a league away.
These ghastly beasts can be slain. They can be overcome.
Ludicrous! Give me some of that!
Everyone, rally to me!
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
Majesty! These parasites, they feed on her blood!
Thing about slings, they hide well.
This could hurt.
You must sweat like a swine in that jacket.
How quickly the scales tip.
Eh?
As ordered.
These ghastly beasts can be slain. They can be overcome.
Everyone, rally to me!
Nothing personal, I assure you.
Majesty! These parasites, they feed on her blood!
Eh?
Blood washes away all shame!
How quickly the scales tip.
Ever have a stone knock out one of your teeth? Have it the white of an eye from half a league away.
These ghastly beasts can be slain. They can...
What do you want of me?
We must trust each other.
Fear not. We shall achieve our goal.
Everyone, rally to me! Ah!
I'd hoped we could solve this some other way.
Company! Forward march!
Don't need no weapon!
Majesty! These parasites, they feed on her blood!
Never had your kneecaps broken! Elven blarney.
How quickly the scales tip.
My pain serves a purpose.
Oh, sorry, turnips back for an encore.
These ghastly beasts can be slain. They can be overcome.
What do you want of me?
Water as the poison.
Catch!
Rally to me!
Bigger they are, easier they are to track.
Majesty! These parasites, they feed on her blood!
Thing about slings, they hide well.
How's the thing, all right?
So much anger and suffering. For what?
Never had your kneecaps broken!
How quickly the scales tip.
Hey?
Fear not. We shall achieve our goal. These ghastly beasts can be slain. They can be overcome.
I believe it's dead.
Of the battle in Ysgith, Neve remembered very little. It seemed a nightmare, its details a haze, the sensations very real. Amidst a thick fog, she fought in a frenzy, desperately hacking at the scourge that advanced from all sides. In the end, silence fell over the swamp. Its boiling waters lay calmed. The ticks and leeches were gone, while Gernichora lay among rotting leaves, covered in blood, unmoving. But still a fearsome sight.
Burn the corpse,
Rasped the queen.
and we move on.
The soldier's eyes darted about in a series of silent glances. It took Neve a moment to realize the difficulty. They still feared it. Though the monster's lifeless body lay on the ground, they dared not go near. Were she to repeat the order, they would carry it out. Yet she did not wish to force that on them. Swallowing her own revulsion, she walked up to Gernichora's corpse and set it alight. The air soon filled with the suffocating stench of burning hair and flesh. Sparks belched out as melting fat fell on flame. Until finally, nothing was left of the bloody mistress but scorched bone. The Lyrians resumed their march towards the banks of the Yaruga. They forced their weary legs to maintain a swift pace and stole no second glance at what they'd left behind. One day, the quartermaster approached with news to report. Alas, bad news.
Your Grace, our food stocks have near run out. And about villages, folk have naught to spare, not even to trade.
The Queen dispatched small groups of scouts. They were to scour the countryside for hunting camps, beekeepers, charcoal burners, any souls willing to trade food for coin or goods. The first scouts came back around dusk. The last 3 detachments returned not at all. At first, Meave suspected they'd fallen prey to monsters, the beastly or Nilfgaardian kind. Later, she learned the men had left naught of their belongings behind. She'd been soft-hearted toward deserters. This lot decided they, too, would give it a try. That night, Meave lay still but towering alders grow thick in Ysgith, their crowns weaving an expansive canopy that obscures the sky. Any sunbeams to slip through this twisted thicket scatter in the milky mist below. Thus the marsh abides in a state of perpetual twilight, wherein a sense of time and direction are easily lost. As the force moved along, a glow appeared in the trees. The Lyrians squinted, their mouths agape in wonder. An orb hung over the water, pulsating, humming. It circled the soldiers, darted off a distance, then hovered as if waiting.
A will-o'-the-wisp, that is,
whispered one of the footmen. Meave knew the wisp could prove treacherous, lead them into a trap. Nonetheless, she followed, though not entirely certain why. Her soldiers seemed eager. She sensed they approved. As the wisp led the Lyrians down a narrow, winding path, Meave surveyed her surroundings warily. Beads of sweat emerged upon her brow. But her fears, in the end, proved unfounded, for at the path's end, the troops found what appeared to be a caravan's remains. Its wagons, rot-eaten, half-buried in the bog, had sat there for decades, perhaps longer. Despite this, gilded panels and scraps of silver-threaded fabric showed they'd won. Inside the wagons, the soldiers discovered many steel crates. Rust-covered but intact, they contained truly dazzling treasures. Sacks bulging with gold coin, pearl-encrusted goblets, exotic velvets and silks in beads.
Blimey.
Meave quickly pieced it all together. She too had once ridden in such a caravan, splendid and laden with gold, when she'd left her home to marry. The rest of the story was not difficult to divine. This was a maiden's dowry. She and her retinue lost their way. Ysgith the Wisp circled Maeve's party, blinked several times, then faded into thin air. The troops resumed their march, and all seemed in order. Seemed, for soon several footmen were discovered to be gone.
Thing about slings, they hide well.
Don't need no weapon!
You mad? Don't shake that!
Wanna know why I've got my scar?
Wait, you're serious?
Scoia'tael! Attack!
This harvest, we'll be reaping black-clad heads.
This could hurt.
I'd hoped we could solve this some other way.
Water is a poison.
Never had your kneecaps broken!
Hey?
Discipline shall bring us victory!
As ordered.
Make love, not war.
In evading Nilfgaard's banners, Meve led her force into Angren's wildest reaches. The foe could not attack the Lyrians there, yet hazards of another sort befell them. One day they reached a quagmire too vast and deep to ford. So the queen summoned her engineer, Xavier, and called on him to build a makeshift bridge. By nightfall, he had drawn up plans.
We shall start by laying abutments, then drive piles into the mire.
The depth?
We dropped plumb lines. 4 Ls.
Consumed by the plans, Meve did not see as Xavier slipped a line off his shoulder. By the time she felt it on her throat, she feared it might be too late.
I long awaited this moment, when we would be alone. You die now, Majesty, and with you dies Lyria's, the whole North will to resist. Hail, Ketzer, hail!
What died was the Nilfgaardian rallying cry in Xavier's throat. At the last instant, Gascon and Reynard rushed in to save the warrior queen, and thus proved their loyalty beyond any doubt.
Your Grace! Your Grace!
There was no answer, but Reynard could hear her breathe. Meve would live. It was several hours later when Meve finally came to. She opened her eyes, then Gascon and Reynard helped her to her feet.
Careful, Your Majesty.
I should have been more careful earlier. Damn it. If you two hadn't...
No need for words. You needn't mention it.
I couldn't disagree more. We're due for a long conversation. First of all, I owe you thanks. Second, my trust in you both has been heavily tarnished. I believe that goes without saying. Yet today you proved beyond all doubt that I can rely on you. So I thank you.
To serve under your banner, Majesty,
'Tis an honor.
Likely I'd have put it differently, but Reynard seems to have the right idea.
Very well. We've reassured ourselves of admiration for one another enough. We've matters to which we must attend. I trust as I lay there dead to the world, you did not sit about with your thumbs up your bums. Have you at least learned why Xavier betrayed us, sided with the Empire?
In a manner of speaking.
Your Grace, the rogue who lunged at you, in truth, was one Gwalter ep Luinoch, a Nilfgaardian spy.
This discovery you made how?
We found in his toolbox a concealed compartment, letters inside. Though encrypted, we managed to decipher them. They were the Grey Rider for you to read.
A swine. An Imperial spy in my ranks this whole time. But to wait so long to strike, why?
He'd only just received the order. Another letter in the box, signed by General Eb Dahi, stated, "To Gwalter ep Luinoch, eliminate M at first opportunity."
Honourless bastards. They'll stop at nought.
Now, Maeve, you'll gain nought by getting riled. No sense to it. This is good news, in fact.
Is that so?
Think. Ep Dahi had a spy in our midst. He knew our movements, had his eye on us, his finger on the pulse. He knew our plans, who we parlayed with, and yet he didn't order your assassination. For you, well, clearly so much changed. Congratulations. Nilfgaard fears you now.
And rightly so. Just a moment, that makes no sense. He saved my life in Mahakam, on the bridge.
He did, for he had to.
In one of the letters we found, Ep Dahi orders Gwalter to watch over Elder-in-Chief Hoog. The Scoia'tael in the mountains was sent there by Nilfgaard to recruit dwarves, but their commander, the Vixen, they feared she'd attack Bruva himself, something Eb Dahi wished to avoid.
Naturally. For someone else could seize power, someone not so neutrally inclined. Someone more likely to aid me, gods forbid. But we found him in the rubble at Rosberg, midst the ashes.
Precisely what placed him beyond suspicion.
We suspect Gwalter enlisted with the Edanians some years past, infiltrated that army.
He had a hand in Rosberg's defense. Then, when the time was right, he lent that same hand to its demise. Caused an explosion that tore a hole through its walls. It worked, but at a price. He suffered severe burns. If not...
Stop. So it was not elves who brought about the fort's fall as he claimed?
A filthy lie to stoke the fires of racial hatred. To stir conflict and chaos and rage that would make the realm of Edirn waver and fall.
If we're to judge by Rayla's actions, he was rather successful.
Bastard. Yet even so badly hurt, in such pain, not for a moment did he drop his mummer's act.
I've heard much of Nilfgaardian spies, Your Grace. They're trained from childhood, face constant indoctrination. They do anything for the Emperor, anything and everything. As soon as Gwalter spotted a chance to join our ranks, to be at your side, he took it, exploited it ably.
To be brief, I've traitors all about me.
Your Grace, you resent our actions, I understand, but...
You, Willem, the Cad Caldwell, Gascon, Gabor, finally Xavier. Tell me how. How am I to trust anyone?
You can't. Amongst all the realms in the north, you're Nilfgaard's sole rival. One remaining threat. All other rulers, either soundly defeated and enchained, or tails between their legs, they've donned Nilfgaard. The Black Clads will do all to destroy you, if not upon the field, then in secret. With an...
What's left? Prayer? Melitele too is sure to turn and take Nilfgaardian gold sooner or later. Ugh. We've talked enough. We must form up. Move on.
Majesty, you ought to rest. You stand swaying. Your step can't be too sure.
Only my horse needs step true.
Maeve, you've just about had the life choked out of you. No time to play the hero.
I'm not Gascon. Quite the opposite, actually. These damn swamps, they terrify me. I wish to get the hell out and never, ever look back.
The Aruga lies near. I sent scouts ahead. They've secured a barge. We can sail to Red Lobington.
Splendid. Sound the horns. We march.
Sandflies and mosquitoes blanketed Maeve's face and neck. She did not bother to brush them away. She'd been in Angren long enough to know more would come in their place.
Your Majesty.
Reynard called from behind.
Our scouts have returned. We've a large force of blackclads on our tail, infantry and horsemen, and they draw nearer.
Blast!
Maeve wiped away the sweaty hair stuck to her brow.
What say you, Reynard? Shall we give them a fight?
We're but a few miles from the river, where a barge awaits. It makes no sense to battle now.
Though near her strength's end, Maeve stepped up her pace. She could not wait to stand upon a barge deck and leave Angren's infernal bogs behind. Alas, in place of the promised vessel, they found only severed moorings.
No! No, it can't be!
Suddenly, Maeve drove her fist into the trunk of the nearest tree. Fortunately, a soft and rotted one.
This isn't so!
Your Grace, have mercy. I stepped away but for a spell.
Croaked a scout, pale as a ghost.
And thieves jumped out the underbrush. Fell upon it. Whole band of them. A white-hair warrior. A minstrel. And a lass. What had a bow.
Well, is that all?
Interrupted Gascon.
No vampire sat upon an ass with no saddle. You're cocked up, man. Damn it. Maeve. What now?
The Queen turned back towards the swamp. Between the trees, she glimpsed a golden sun glimmering upon a banner.
We shall discuss that later,
said the Queen, drawing her sword.
provided we survive.
Wise choice.
Everyone, rally to me! Drive them back!
Target.
I smell a leak. Are you mad? Don't say that!
Trouvé, Nicolas!
Yes. My disgrace ends here. Time I wiped it away. Order! Scoia'tael! Attack!
Nice Tedatu.
Never had your kneecaps broken. Your life is mine now.
Water is the poison.
Hail, Kerzer!
Sorry, turnips back for an encore.
Elven blarney.
Nothing personal, I assure you.
So much anger and suffering. For what?
Wise choice.
Your Grace, that was but their vanguard.
Near the battle's end, Meve faced a black-clad officer. Nimbly dodging his strike, she countered. The Queen's sword sank deep, the hilt rattling his breastplate. A rush of hot blood covered Meve's hands. The winged helmet toppled from the officer's head, exposing a sweaty face, gasping for breath.
Nin! When?
Before the Queen stood a ruddy-haired boy with long eyelashes. He was Willem's age, perhaps a bit older. His body slumped, then disappeared beneath the malodorous fur.
Majesty, what is it? Are you hurt?
Reynard said, rushing to her side.
No, I'm not. It's fine. Give the order to march. With no barge, we must walk to Red Lobington along the riverbank.
Your Majesty, we must tend to the wounded. Use the rest of the day, I wager.
We ain't time enough for that.
Interjected Gascon.
That was but the vanguard sent in pursuit to slow us down. And even so, they outnumbered us 2 to 1. What happens when the main force arrives? We must flee. Now.
And abandon the injured, to bleed to death in the mud.
Alas, Reynard, yes.
Gascon is right. Should Nilfgaard close the distance between us, we'll stand little chance.
Phew. At least you've the sense to...
But I would sooner perish than let my men rot in this accursed swamp. The medics will tend to all the wounded. Then, What will be, will be.
I tell you what'll be.
snarled Gascon.
Ep die, he'll take a butcher's hook and gut you. Then hang you from Lyria capital's walls. Yet, if this be your wish...
Niamh waited for the medics to sew the last stitch, tie off the last bandage. Only then did she order her force to move out. At the column's end, upon stretchers, lay those fatigued and laden with the wounded. The Lyrians moved slow as molasses. Soon, Nilfgaard's forward elements had caught up. The Blackclads nipped at the Lyrian's tail with arrow volleys from the cover of trees and occasional forays by cavalry. At long last, Niamh spotted a dark form spanning the river's course, Red Lobendon's Bridge. Just a brief stretch more, and the Lyrians would find themselves beyond the invaders' grasp, free and clear of bogs, and the beasts that prowled them. Yet joy at this sight soon gave way to despair. The bridge was dark, black, from the horde of Nilfgaardians that held it. Clearly the Blackclads had divined the path of Niamh's flight, and had cut off her last means of escape.
That's it. We're dead men. All! They'll cut us down to the last!
Niamh shut her eyes, felt them sting with fatigue. She knew when she turned she could not show her men 1 ounce of fear, 1 pinch of doubt. She gripped her reins tightly. The leather dug into her skin, helping her hold back her tears. And when the Queen finally spoke, her voice was strong and boomed over the river's roar.
I know what you wish to hear.
The Queen began.
That the gods watch over us. That we'll come through the fray unharmed. That a friendly force is but moments away. Those would be lies. The truth is as bitter as it is undeniable. We stand cornered. Cannot win this fight, cannot flee it. We can but choose how to die. Hanged from the boughs like common criminals, or weapons in hand, like the fighters we are. I've made my choice. Time you made yours!
With that cry, Niamh broke for the...
Defend the Queen! For Lyria!
I warned you!
Hey? Ever have a stone knock out one of your teeth?
Marin Yalde Kronfair.
We may die here today, but not on our hands and knees!
Catch!
Have it the white of an eye from half a league away.
I smell a leak.
Your Majesty, no!
I've lost my tooth. Foot of a whore.
Elven Blarney. Don't need no weapon!
Wait, you're serious? Don't shoot! Don't shoot! We're friends, not foe!
Damn it, just gets better and better.
To the bridge! Cut the way back to the bridge! Bolster the defense!
Your Grace, our soldiers, they flee! Defend the Queen! Valyria!
Barbarians.
We may die here today, but not on our hands and knees!
I warned you!
Don't shoot! Don't shoot! We're friends, not foe!
Damn it, just gets better and better.
To the bridge! Cut the way back to the bridge! Bolster the defense!
Agroto dum anima est, spes est.
Oh, sorry, turnips back for an encore.
Scoia'tael! Attack!
There's a time to reap, a time to sow.
Have it the white of an eye from half a league away.
Never had your kneecaps broken! Ysgith'in Seifel!
Ludicrous! Give me some of that!
Death is only the beginning!
Elven Blarney. Wise choice.
Bigger they are, easier they are to target.
Order! Catch! Your life is mine now.
I smell a leak.
Elherzer.
Come here! Let's dance!
Diabel, that ass.
Scoia'tael! Attack!
My boots got sand aplenty.
Thing about slings, they hide well.
Your Majesty, no!
I've lost my tooth. Fun of a whore.
For Mahagam!
When will you ever learn?
Scheiß in Trey!
So much anger and suffering. For what?
Off to the front yet again.
My prescription, a bit of bloodletting. A highly curious case. Egreto dum anima est, spes est.
Wise choice.
My prescription, a bit of bloodletting.
Fall back! Below it!
Meve was victorious on the banks of the Yaruga, but paid dearly for it. She lost a host of men and suffered harm herself. Yet she'd have been doomed, if not for a certain white-haired witcher. Meve longed to meet her mysterious savior, and set off in search of him as soon as the battle dust had settled. She found him with the field surgeon, and learned he was none other than the witcher Geralt. Yes, incredible as it may seem, I've heard the tale from several and can vouch for its truth. At any rate, making naught of the fact that Geralt's ears were ringing from a blow with a mace, Meve began immediately to interrogate him.
You for Faith Woodbridge?
Asked Meve, prodding him insistently. For a spell, Geralt worried his hearing was shot, but then realized the Queen had a lisp.
Worked out that way, I guess.
You guess?
Meve gagged on the blood in her mouth.
Someone hold me!
The Queen felt Geralt merited the highest honor, a knighthood. Another monarch might have delayed until a more opportune time, but not Meve. Meve delayed nothing.
Count Odo, you, sir, do the honors. Alas, I cannot because of my tooth.
For valor shown in battle, I, Meve, by the gods' grace, Queen of Lyria and Rivia, hereby do knight thee.
Gerulf of place unknown. The bridge you felled with men from Rivia. Or so you guess. I guess it falls to me to dub thee Gerulf of Rivia.
Meve had come home, though by a circuitous route, through Edern's smoking embers, Angren's beast-infested quagmires, cross Mahakam's snow-capped ridges. But she had returned, cloaked in legend, a mighty army in tow. The moment was weighty, and not to be tainted even by Geralt of Rivia's disappearance, or dare we say desertion. The hero of the battle for the bridge was now a sought man. Yet Meve was determined to take back her realm, with or without the Witcher's aid. Valyrian's daring escapade behind enemy lines, and the triumphant victory at the battle for the bridge that crowned it, breathed new life into the North's war effort. Bands of resistance fighters now swarmed the conquered lands, while Cedwyn and Redania, on the verge of swearing fealty to the Emperor, suddenly broke off talks with the invader. The Nilfgaardian war machine suddenly screeched to a halt, and the tide of war turned. Facing a united North, the invader had to withdraw the bulk of its forces from Lyria and Rivia. The way was cleared for Meve to retake her lost lands, defeat General Epdahi, and depose Willem. Or perhaps mother and son would not have to fight after all.
Milady, I come at King Willem's bidding.
Prince Willems.
His Majesty proposes a meeting. No arms, no escorts.
His Majesty? Whelp's barely tall enough to reach his mother's bosom. For shame!
Silence. Let him say his piece.
His Majesty, Willem I, wishes to discuss the possibility of a truce.
He wishes to surrender. Is that his aim?
Your words, not mine, Your Grace.
I have a few more on the tip of my tongue. But save them I shall for later.
Willem I's chosen the site for the parley in...
Willem I will choose nought. If he wishes to speak, let him meet me midst the ruins of Devil's Tower.
Understood, Your Grace. I'll relay your terms.
Willem's emissary rode off, serenaded by hisses and jeers. Frightened by the clamor, his horse reared and kicked. The rider forced his mount to obey with cracks of his crop, striking many more times than was necessary.
The fool. Nag'll toss him off first chance it gets. Soon as he loosens the reins.
No great loss, I wager. But tell me, your thoughts on this reunion?
Sounds a ruse to me. But I know that won't stop you.
Whence this certainty?
Come now, Meve. At the end of it all, he's your son. You still care about him, it's obvious.
You're absolutely right.
Perhaps let bygones be bygones. Perhaps it's not too late.
Only one way to know. Let's go.
Meve rode out clad in golden plate, her banners waving proudly overhead. She no longer led a band of ragtag partisans, but an army able to fend off an empire and drive its soldiers from her lands.
Ma'am, I've something you must see without undue delay.
You need my help with anything? Anything?
Long you've travelled, Barnabas. The wonders you must have seen. Likely visited many exotic...
Corvia, yes. Matina, yes. Nazir, doubly. Zericania, gods, yes. And Korath, even. I mean, such beauty there, though hot. Oh, dreadfully so. Horrible place to grow turnips, if you've ever... Novigrad. Lived there a spell as well, but I did...
Why ever not?
The hierarch. Intractable man. Banned one of my inventions. Condemned it as un...
Perhaps I shall regret...
I knew you'd be interested. You've a curious mind, dear Queen. We're 2 peas of a feather. Quite the clever contraption it was.
Stop right there.
See, it had this...
Barnabas, no, enough...
As you command, Your Majesty. But if you ever get the urge to see it...
Noted. But by the gods, please... Time I attended to other matters.
Ah,